What's up, everybody? It's your boy, The Legend, coming at you from Universal Studios, Florida, where it's the best time of year. Yes, it is Halloween Horror Nights 2018, Halloween Horror Nights 28. In this video, I'm going to show you all the different haunted houses, give you my thoughts on them, and show you around the event in total. Let's go check it out. Let's kick off the tour by talking about the haunted houses. Of course, that's what you come to Halloween Horror Nights for. And this year, the big name, the big name is Stranger Things by Netflix. And I'm a fan of the show, and I think the house lives up to the hype. This is one of the most hyped houses of all time, I feel like, for Horror Nights. And it's very strong. Features some of the coolest scenes I've seen in a Horror Nights house. Follows season 1 of the house very well. It casts the kids well. Overall, it's a big thumbs up. This is a top-tier Horror Nights house. And if you're coming for Stranger Things, I do not think you'll be disappointed. Now, out of all the houses at Halloween Horror Nights, Carnival Graveyard Rusted in Pieces is absolutely my favorite. As a big fan of theme parks and themed attractions, carnivals, things like that, I absolutely love this house. Giant set pieces. If you're a fan of theme parks, you are absolutely going to love it. You need to do Carnival Graveyard. It is my #1 house of the entire event. While I've never seen the movie, Poltergeist is absolutely one of my favorite houses this year. They've got giant sets, giant puppets. It is amazing. Even if you have never seen the film, this is a house you must do here at the event this year. Another original house up next is Seeds of Extinction, which is kind of weird. If you've ever seen The Happening with Mark Wahlberg, and you were curious, like, what would have happened if the plants won? That is the plot line for the Seeds of Extinction house. It is built in the new parade building, and it's just a whole bunch of evil plants for about 5 minutes. There are a couple of cool scenes in there I really like a plane crashes into a convenience store and stuff like that. But overall, I'm not a huge fan of this house. It's not one of their better houses, I think, at this year's Horror Nights, and I feel like it's awkward because they scare you with puppets, like hand puppets sometimes. So it's like, hey, you should be scared now, or boo, I'm a scary plant. So I'm not a huge fan of Seeds of Extinction. Michael Myers makes his return to Halloween Horror Nights here at Halloween 4, and it's a solid house. Definitely not one of my favorites. Probably in my bottom 5 of the event, but they do have some cool effects in there. And now I've never seen this film, so don't get me wrong. If you're a fan of the film, you might enjoy this much better than I do. But there's some cool Pepper's ghost effects, some stuff hanging in your face that they haven't done before. So it's not the worst house I've seen tonight, but not one of my favorites. In my opinion, the scariest house this year at Halloween Horror Nights is Dead Exposure Patient Zero, which is a sequel to a house they made about 10 or 11 years ago at Horror Nights. This is my 10th year going, so it must have been 11 or 12 years ago. And it's themed to zombies in Paris, and it's very frightening because it's very strobe heavy. So this, I think, it's not the best house at Horror Nights this year, but in my opinion, it's definitely the scariest. Trick or Treat is up next, and what might be the prettiest house here at Halloween Horror Nights 28. Good times, not the scariest house, but might be the prettiest house. I've seen this film, it's a solid film, and it doesn't take the film in order, which I thought was kind of weird, but it's a very pretty house. And my favorite part is one scene in the house, it smells just like the Hershey's Chocolate Factory tour, and that made me smile. First time back at the event in many years is Scary Tales, and it has maybe the best facade I've ever seen at Horror Nights. It's fun. It features the return of the HHN bear, and Scary Tales, it's another winner. It's got a great smell effect too. Like, it smells like apple pie in a scene, and I love that. It's all about fractured fairy tales, and it's a thumbs up. So they can't all be winners here at Halloween Horror Nights 28, and by far my least favorite house is The Horrors of Blumhouse Volume 2, featuring the first Purge and Happy Death Day. Not a strong house here. I've actually seen Happy Death Day, and it was not a terrible movie, but the house, it's definitely the worst one they had to offer here at Horror Nights this year. Not one of the worst ones of all time, but definitely the worst of this year. Next on the tour is Slaughter Cinema, which is a house I really enjoyed. It's the first year in a long time they've done a, sort of that dark comedy house, and I'm a huge fan of that. They haven't done that in years here at Horror Nights, and I love that they brought this back. It's themed to a whole bunch of imaginary B-movies from the 80s, and it's wonderful. It is like 2 rooms of one thing, then cut to 2 rooms of another thing for about probably 7 or 8 different movies. A lot of fun. You get some good laughs, some good scares, some great puppet effects, and this house definitely in my top 4 or 5. So let's talk about some of the scare zones here at Halloween Horror Nights 28. Starting with my personal favorite, the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And it's not a scary scare zone, as I feel like none of them are. But these Killer Clown characters are fantastic. I mean, if you look at the makeup, not the makeup, the masks and stuff like that, they're just terrifying and wonderful. And I'm a big fan of the film as well. So to see them finally get this at Halloween Horror Nights is absolutely wonderful. And they nailed it. They really did. I really hope this pulls a trick or treat from last year and ends up in a house, because guys like that, they deserve a house. And the scare zone's fine. It's nice. My favorite of the ones they've done this year.
It's high. Wait. Oh, he has to.
And it's just wonderful. Like, it's a great picture zone. And if you're a fan of the films, you'll like it as well. Central Park is home to the Twisted Traditions Scare Zone, which is kind of very similar to a lot of other scare zones you've seen here in the past. It's got the jack-o'-lanterns in the trees and a lot of like pumpkin-type characters and things like that. So not the worst scare zone this year. I love things like this, like the jack-o'-lantern here on stilts. Turn your flash off for me, please. Thank you. Like that is wonderful. And it's like in this part it's very dark. And this is my favorite part of the scare zone, this messed up imagery here of what I'm assuming is a dead lady inside of a pumpkin. And that is unsettling. Also has a great placemaking at the entrance to the Twisted Traditions Scare Zone. They have an old beaten down car and an old burned out church. So here in Halloween, it's home to the Chucky Scare Zone, which is home to an interactive puppet character that sort of interacts with the audience, and it's really quite fun. I'm a little sad because I was hoping it would be like I hoping it was going to be a movie kind of quality character. It is not that. It's clearly a hand puppet.
Yeah, this guy knows what I'm talking about. His arms right here.
Scare zone here, it seems like demented toys and things like that.
Lots of trouble.
So I definitely like that they have the character that they interact with and make kind of a show. Like over here, there's the Monkey Mayhem with the barrel of monkeys. So that's neat. Oh my.
5, 3, 2, 1. Happy New
So I guess the ball drop effect doesn't work, but Vamp 85 is a scare zone here in New York. It's a sequel to the much beloved Vamp 55, and it's okay. I think that it's not quite as good as the one before it. Not one of my favorite scare zones this year. I wish the ball would actually drop. In the front of the park is the Harvest Scare Zone, which features mostly like scarecrow type people, and occasionally they have some cool pumpkin people, but this is definitely the worst scare zone of the event. But they can't really do a good scare zone here because the parade runs through here. It's right in the front where you have thousands of people passing through per night. So it's difficult to do a good scare zone here. It is better than last year's scare zone, but the worst of the event. Well, not technically a scare zone. Springfield is filled with evil chainsaw clowns and can be one of the more frightening areas of the park during Halloween Horror Nights. They've got some cool stuff too, like they got like a dude dressed in drag as a chainsaw clown and other things like that. And there's that man. Anyway, not technically a scare zone, but still scary. Over here, right by the Music Plaza stage, they've got some specialty frozen drinks. They've got syrup and waffles, obviously for Stranger Things. They've also got a candy corn and then a toasted marshmallow. We went with the syrup and waffles. It comes with a waffle cereal on top. It smells like just straight syrup. And I'm guessing there's no way this could be good. I also don't normally get non-alcoholic drinks in a park. What do you think?
It's kind of blah. I mean, it tastes like syrup, but that's all it tastes like. It's kind of like you're drinking straight syrup.
Yes.
There's no aftertaste, it's just syrup.
Yeah, that's...
It's literally syrup.
If you love syrup, Universal's got the $5 drink for you. And there's cereal on top. Time for the e-ticket snack of Halloween Horror Nights, and that is, of course, pizza fries served here in the Kid Zone, right by the SpongeBob store. Let's do it. So here we are, pizza fries. That is what they look like, surrounded by blinky cups and cell phone lights. Go ahead and grab a taste.
Pretty good.
It is really hard to beat, especially if you had a few drinks at Horror Nights. Like, this is the snack you want to get. Not cheap, they're like 10 bucks, but they do take pass holder discounts, so be sure to get some pizza fries. So this year, the fun of Horror Nights comes outside the gates of Universal Studios, and there's actually a donut here at Voodoo Donuts in honor of Horror Nights. Got HHN on it. This one says 91 to 98, even though it's supposed to say 91 to 18. Gonna run you about $4. Molly, how does it taste? It's very pretty, and I love Voodoo Donuts. And I think, is there a raspberry filling in there? We'll find out. Or she's just going to keep biting until she finds something. The hole's on the other side. Yep, it's raspberry filling. But I enjoyed Voodoo Donuts. I love the doing specialty donut for this. How's the taste?
It's really good.
Over here in New York, right near Mummy, is the Horror Nights Tribute Store. The best place to go to get all your Horror Nights stuff. Let's go check it out. So inside the store, it's actually really cool. You've got a whole bunch of different merch from a whole bunch of different things. Over here in New York, right near Mummy, is the Horror Nights Tribute Store. The best place to go to get all your Horror Nights stuff. Let's go check it out. So here's the inside of the store, and the inside of the store is actually really well themed, so that makes it kind of neat. Here is the shirt for this year. There's always a shirt like this, which has a logo on the front saying, always written in blood for some reason, and then the back is all of the houses. Well, except for one house this year. As you can see, for some reason, the Harvest Scare Zone is on there instead of Bloomhouse, but that is kind of like the shirt for this year. Over here is another shirt. This is kind of like your IP Icons shirt. Stranger Things heavy. You could also get it as a poster. They're doing a lot of posters this year, which is something I really enjoy. An awesome Stranger Things shirt. Here you got the upside down with the arches on the bottom, 11 on the top. This was Molly's favorite thing in the whole store. This is a Stranger Things hoodie. It was about, I think, $55, and on the back it had a Horror Nights emblem and things like that. I imagine these are going to sell very, very well. I bet a lot of people buy those. Moving along to the right, you get some more generic stuff you can find anywhere with Pop Funkos and a Hawkins Middle School AV Club t-shirt. Obviously, the store is going to be very, very Stranger Things heavy like the event is this year. If you're Theme Park Worldwide on YouTube, you might buy this mug because that's all they do. And it's a neat mug. You have the Demogorgon teeth on the inside. And again, the merchandise is very, very Stranger Things heavy. Continuing with the Stranger Things, you've got this pin, which is awesome because it lights up. Check that out, just like on the show. Very smart merch there. Could see those selling well as well. I'm not sure what this is. It's kind of like a fake Tervis kind of travel mug thing. And then some more stuff, I'm moving the camera around. And then we got a shot glass with a lot of the IP characters, except for Stranger Things. Stranger Things not on the shot glass. Going to walk towards the other side of the store, which was Molly's favorite section, featuring her, because it has Chucky. She does not care much for Chucky. And they've got this cool, like, wooden board sign you can hang up in your house of, like, the box that he came in. And then Molly's least favorite thing in the entire store, this outfit where you can be Chucky. Nope, she's talking about how she's not a fan. Yes, you could dress up, if you ever want to dress up. Now I'm going to walk past the Instagram wall, which you got to have for some reason, to what is my favorite piece of merchandise in the entire store, and that is this Killer Clowns from Outer Space t-shirt. Big fan of that brand, and it says Halloween Horror Nights 2018 on it. This is absolutely something I'm going to buy. Then something very important here to take note. You could buy shorts. In case you crap yours in a haunted house and you need new shorts, head to the Tribute store and you can get them. Moving along, before we finish up this half of the store, is some generic Eggo merchandise. Of course, very popular now at Stranger Things at 11 and all that. Moving on here, I'm going to show off some merchandise that's themed towards the Scare Zones. Something I've never seen them do before. They've got this great shirt that shows off the Scare Zones. It says Halloween Horror Nights on the front. And then they also have this as a poster. I really like this artwork. I think it's awesome artwork. I would love to have that hanging somewhere in the house, but Molly hates Chucky, so that is not going to happen. Let's check out the second half of the store. There's not quite as much in the other half of the store, and it's very crowded, so I don't want to be in here very long. But what I want to point out over here is these kiosks where they have a whole bunch of different really cool shirts they print on demand. And they're all like iron-ons or that kind of thing. You put your name on the Hawkins Tigers. And you can get like other things like the Slaughter Cinema posters. You can get them on a shirt. Like really cool. So this is like for more niche kind of stuff over here. And then there's a whole bunch of people over there, so I'm not going to go that way. Yeah, but I do want to show off these masks since I can get to them and they're on the way out. Look at these killer clowns from outer space masks. Now they're expensive as hell. Like this guy is $95, so they're expensive, but they're really neat. But make sure you come to the store if you're over here. So the Halloween Horror Nights store is not the only cool store doing stuff. They've got a retro arcade set up in the big store in the front gift shop. You get tokens that say like Horror Nights 2018 on them, and there's all sorts of like specialty games. Gotta say the games are expensive though. Like to play one of these games, it's $1. Pac-Man, Galaga, Dragon's Lair. Definitely cool that they did this. I'm not sure I would recommend playing any of them because $1 for any of these games is a terrible, terrible deal.
But it's $1 for a souvenir.
Yeah, it's $1 for 2 souvenirs.
2 souvenirs.
So that's how I would come in here and get a souvenir. But I love that they did this. It's neat. And that'll do it for Halloween Horror Nights 28. And I love the event this year. For me, I think this year is absolutely the strongest house lineup I've ever seen in the history of the event. The houses are very good. There's a couple of duds, but even the duds are better than some of the duds in years past. I know the big thing is ranking your houses, so I'm hopping on that bandwagon. I'm going to give you my house rankings right now. My favorite house is Carnival Graveyard, number 2, Poltergeist, number 3, Stranger Things, number 4, Slaughter Cinema, number 5, Scary Tales, number 6, Trick or Treat, number 7, Dead Exposure, number 8, Halloween 4, number 9, Seeds of Extinction, and number 10 in last place is Blumhouse. And it really depends on who you are. Like for me, Seeds of Extinction was my 9th house. That was Kenny's favorite house when I talked to him on Sunday night. Also, this event, it depends what night you're going, whether it's going to be a hit or it's going to be a miss. I was here on opening night on Friday, and it was the most miserable thing ever. It was hot. Everything was over an hour wait when I left. I went through 5 houses in 5 hours. It was miserable. Tonight and Sunday, I'm here on Wednesday now, and the event has been, this Wednesday, the 19th, has been the least crowded I've ever seen the event. Now, I would say 2018 is not the best year I've ever seen this event, just because of the shows are kind of lacking. There's only one show, it's Academy of Villains, which I have not seen yet, but it's just people dancing. So like other years when they had the Bill and Ted show, which I loved, I would say are stronger years, but this year is one not to be missed. So coming down to Halloween Horror Nights, check it out. If you have any questions or comment, let me know in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get back to you, and thank you all for watching this video, and we'll see you all next time.